Hello again, and welcome to another episode of Brenda's Musings. So today I want to talk about emotions as a roller coaster. And most days I'm kind of like this. There's a few little, bumps in the road, some are up, some are down. But today was like one of these days. Excuse me, I was up and down and all around. And, I started thinking about, okay, well, what happened today? Who was I hanging out with? And then I started realizing, oh no, you're putting your emotions onto situations and onto people. And emotions are all internal, right? So it's not that somebody can make you feel a certain way. It's not that a situation can make you feel a certain way. It's something that's already inside of you and it's coming up for you. And usually if a feeling, for me, in my experience, I'm only talking from my experience, I'm not a therapist in any way, shape, or form, but when something comes up for me, it's a time for me to stop and look at it. And so that's what I did this evening. I looked at people in the sense of, I went out today, I had a great time, and, but I didn't look at the people per se. I looked at their characteristics. I love to hang out with people who are positive. I love to hang out with people who want to learn more. I love to hang around with people who, despite what they may have gone through, have this great outlook on life. I love to hang around with people who have a sharp wit. I love to hang around with people who just seem to love life. Like things like that. And I started, so what I've learned is that I want to hang around with like more people like that. And there's a whole, that's a small sampling of the list. But, so I got that. So that was the easy part, right? So then I had to go back and look at some of the crappy stuff that happened today. And it wasn't crappy. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, it was like probably a, 0.05, right? But for me, it was enough that it upset my apple cart, so to speak. And so I started thinking about these feelings that were coming up that took me a little bit by surprise, but that also were given to me to look at, to examine, and to see the truth in. So at one point I remember feeling like, gosh, am I a bad mother? And, I recognized very quickly that no, I'm not a bad mother. Then I thought, okay, am I a bad communicator? And I thought about it, and I thought there are times when I am fantastic at communicating, but there are also times when I don't communicate enough. I hold back, especially with my kids. I hold back. I want them to try to figure it out. And it doesn't always work that way, right? Sometimes they just want to know, how I feel about something. Or, why I do something because of the way I feel or whatever. And so I recognize that. And then sometimes, so another situation was like, okay, I'm feeling, I can't really put a name on it. I guess the closest thing would be like I'm feeling not worthy. And I'm thinking, okay, where's the truth in that? I thought, okay, there's no truth in that. But how can I turn this feeling that I had in the pit of my stomach to something that I knew to be true in a different way? So, and to be quite frank, I don't really have the answer for that one yet. I have to think about that a little bit more. But, what is it that, like, why did I go to that feeling is my bigger question. Like what is it that I'm feeling inside already that brought that to the surface? And it wasn't so much that I wasn't worthy. Like, that's really not the right word. I don't know how to describe it. But but that was the question I went to. What is it that I've either experienced in the past or that I believe to be true about myself in some way, shape, or form that brought this feeling forward and for me to examine. And I'll have to let you know another musing how it went, because I'm not finished processing that yet. But just, look at your day. The whole point is, when you look at your day and you're on this roller coaster of emotions, check to see, why it's such a roller coaster ride. Like, why are things coming up for you? And, look for the truth in it. Because sometimes it's all just a false belief that we know is, in our heart of heart, is garbage. And then dig deeper. And that's my musing for today. Have a great one, everyone.